What's going on, guys? We are here today, the day after the 2020 Mr. Olympia. And if you guys didn't go because you didn't think it was going to be a good show, I personally think this was a fucking awesome Mr. Olympia.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think it was, even though it was my first Olympia that I actually seen in person, I thought it was the best Olympia in a few years for sure. So
Yeah, so I've never been to, and I guess I've been to the Olympia, but I never went to like the night show or the prejudging or anything like that. But this one was legit.
I think they should keep it in Orlando permanently, to be honest.
That would be very cool. I think a lot of people are going to hate it because Vegas is like a way to get away, but
There's a lot of shit to do in Orlando, though.
yeah, no, it was dope.
There's some clubs, there's some fun
The
shit.
venue was sick. The
Yeah.
venue was fantastic.
And it makes it easier for me. It's only 2 hours away.
Correct.
For when I'm in it next year.
Yeah, no, that's
Just
gonna be cool.
saying.
Actually, when I was in the audience, I texted Nick and I was like, I can't wait to see you on that stage next year. So it's gonna be cool. But what was the biggest? Okay, so like, if you had to pick the coolest thing that you saw, and then like the biggest upset thing, and then just basically like the highlights of the whole show, what do you think would be the biggest upset?
There's a few.
Okay. So like, go with the first one.
I mean, I guess you could say the biggest upset, but also for me, and also one of the coolest things to see was Phil take third.
Okay.
I mean,
so if you guys don't know, Phil was basically he was being a dickhead, like backstage the whole show. It was terrible. He was acting like a total immature. I have no idea why he acted like it. He like came in and he just basically expected to win, which every competitor, I would say, expects to win the show. I mean, you don't train for something like that and expect to lose.
No, for sure. But, you know, you can't take a whole year off and expect to come back as your old self. It's just not going to happen.
Correct. And regardless of the fact, Phil didn't look bad. I mean, he looked good.
No, he looked really good.
He looked really good.
It just wasn't enough.
Correct. And backstage, he was just doing all kinds of wild shit, screaming at everybody, you know, telling people that they're going to fucking pay, that he's going to take his Olympia title back, that there's a fake Mr. Olympia, he shouldn't even be the Olympia, like wild shit, acting like a total lunatic. And it's weird because he comes from a collegiate sport background. Most people who play sports or have been part of any type of a team effort sport don't act like that. Mm-hmm. So it was very weird to see, but you know, a lot of people said that Phil's gut was out of control this year. I don't necessarily think I would say that. I would say that he lost 10 pounds. So apparently he went on stage smaller this year.
Oh, you could tell he was smaller, but I don't think the gut improved at all.
I don't think it improved, but what I think happened is when you lose size,
it makes the gut appear bigger.
It makes the gut look bigger.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So I don't necessarily think that he came out on stage and had this big blowout gut. I think he just lost weight, so it made his gut look bigger versus his body.
100%.
But, I mean, from the back, he still looked great. His legs looked great. I mean, really, he looked great. I mean, he looked amazing, but Big Ramy just fucking shut it down, man. I mean,
freaks always win in the end.
Dude, he looked wild. I mean, I didn't expect him to come in like that because obviously what happened with getting COVID and missing the pre-qualifying show and then getting the invite. But Chad, they looked.
Hey, props to Chad.
Chad did a fucking killer job, man.
I was just happy to see that he had, separation in his quads for once.
His legs were crazy. His side shots, his hamstring, his glute.
His side chest was probably the best side chest of the entire show.
I couldn't stop staring at the dude's legs. Every time he was sitting in any type of a side pose, you could see the striations coming from around his ass all the way down.
You couldn't deny it.
It was insane.
You couldn't say no to that.
And other people had that, but their legs were half the size.
But I just thought his lines were just deeper.
Yeah, he had deeper lines, and even his rear double, like he has a thick back, like
a
very thick back.
He does.
But you could see the feathering even in his lower back,
Yeah.
and the tightness in his lower back when he was hitting. He looked awesome.
He was on.
Yeah, he looked
100%.
Really good. And then Brandon looked really good too.
I thought Brandon looked really good. I just think he just will never get his legs to where they need to be.
Yeah, his legs were off. I mean, he was in great condition. His stomach was nice and tight.
Yeah.
He looked good. He looked really good.
I was actually really impressed with Heidi Saturday night.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know what Friday they had him around the 5th, 6th spot, and then he finished 4th, right? I think if he was placed higher on Friday, nobody would have argued if he was 2nd or 3rd.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Overall, at the end.
Who do you think was the most improved athlete?
Ramy.
For sure. I was going to say
Ramy.
Yeah, I agree.
He did his job.
Yeah.
because
No, I hear
everyone, I think everyone was starting to get to a point with Big Ramy where it was like,
He's got to show up. He
Like,
just needed to show up and do it.
if he doesn't show up, he could be sixth in the 6th, 7th range, third. Like he won't win.
Yep.
And he conquered it.
Yeah, no.
As soon as he came out, for the prejudging, I was like, oh shit,
Yeah.
there it is.
I mean, Will looked good too. Bonek,
oh, he did.
he looked really good.
I even thought his legs were a little down though.
Yeah, but I just think everyone showed up. I think that this Olympia was competitive. I don't think people
I
came
agree.
in and took it.
I don't really think conditioning was a true issue this year, in my opinion.
Definitely not for Sean.
Yeah. No. Sean is a freak of nature, my
Yeah,
friend.
that was probably the biggest upset, I think, because and I knew, like you and I saw pictures of Sean throughout this whole prep.
Well, that's why when I went on Fuad's podcast, I
Yeah.
said, "Are y'all forgetting Sean? Like
Yes.
Sean's gonna win."
Yeah, so I think that most people don't realize how much smaller Sean is than his next competitor.
Yeah, Sean's what, like 5 foot, right?
5 feet, and what do you weigh? He on stage was 170 something,
I think he was like 177.
177
As the lowest, I believe.
and he was going against people who were 212. You know what I mean? And he looked just as big,
Full,
better-
hard, big,
the
brainy.
fullest. I think he literally one more ounce of anything he would have popped.
For sure.
I mean, he had veins coming out of places that were like,
Well-
like this shit was wild.
It was definitely a cool thing to see.
Yeah, he definitely deserved
know?
the win. Grateful, humble. The dude, he's just an all around. He's a true bodybuilder.
100%.
Yeah.
And I'm happy that Matt was his coach, to have that moment too.
Well, the cool thing about seeing it is the progression, right? Matt's been with him forever, so every
Yeah.
year after
Every
year,
year he was
better.
his
and
placing better,
exactly.
you know?
and he's grown and gotten better. And people are saying his stomach, fuck that. He looked great. His stomach wasn't blown out at all. He looked tight. I don't know. Maybe the fucking angle that they were looking at was wrong, but he
Right.
looked right. Like
I
you
agree.
couldn't look better. I don't think you could have looked better. at his size.
even when I met up with them before they went to finals at Sean's house and they made him pose. There's nothing
No.
to say.
His
man.
back shots.
His
he looks
back's
like
ridiculous.
his back between. I mean, I guess not between you and I because I was just about to say it, but from behind, he looks like a little Ronnie Coleman.
He looks like a 5 foot Ronnie Coleman.
He looks just like a little Ronnie Coleman.
His legs are huge. His back is huge.
Yeah.
Like he was a balloon.
Yeah, there was no. I mean, and what's his name looked good too.
Kamal?
Kamal looked good. He just didn't look. He
just
couldn't beat
wasn't-
it. Yeah.
Sean was the freak factor.
Sean had it.
You can't
He
take
had
that.
it.
You can't
He
say
had
no to that.
Veins everywhere.
I mean, I don't know how he was only up by 1 point, but
Yeah, leave that to somebody else to talk about. I don't think so either. Okay, so then those two, I guess we got the opening and we got the 212 out of the way. I think the biggest upset of the night was Shanique Grant losing.
Shanique Grant taking second. Yeah, well, that goes to show that, again, genetics aren't everything.
Correct. Yeah, I think that I think Shanique has the craziest like cartoon like body
She does.
ever. Like if she comes in right,
If she was a
doesn't
tad
lose.
bit harder, she would have won.
She doesn't lose.
Like, you can't beat her shape.
Yeah, no, it's not possible. It's not a thing. But I think that she came in off. I mean, she definitely was softer. I think she was way softer than she was last year. Just off. She was just off. I don't know what it was. I don't know why. If you guys don't know, she did switch prep coaches. She left Johnny with ProFX, and she went to John Meadows. I think it was how long ago? A while ago. She's been with him for a while.
For a good, yeah, I'd say.
Yeah,
a good
it's
while.
not like it just happened like 2 weeks out or
No,
anything
no.
like
She,
that.
I believe they did the whole prep together.
Yeah, so Johnny Johnny knew her body. I mean, I don't understand why you leave somebody who you've won back-to-back Olympics.
Yeah,
with in
I
the
don't
first
know that entire situation,
Yeah.
but she was much better with John.
place. And to be honest with you, the girl, I don't know her name, and I feel like, hold on, I'm going to look it up. Would you remember her name?
No.
Hold on.
I feel bad.
Fuck, I know, I got to say it.
She was freaky, though.
She
her
was insane.
Glutes better than mine.
That side shot she
Insane.
hit,
Yeah,
where she
insane.
like squatted down on. Oh my god, that was nuts!
Insane.
The wildest shit I ever saw in my life. Her conditioning was better than some of the bodybuilders on that stage. She deserved to win. I forget her name. I'm gonna try to find her.
Yeah, she was the better one in that moment. You know?
Yeah, and a lot of people are saying that Shanique got robbed, and
I don't think Shani got robbed.
I don't think you may have been able to see the level of conditioning that she had.
You
that
had
was,
to be
you had to be
there.
there. You had to be there because even like if I was looking to the left at the screen versus looking at them on the stage,
Correct.
They looked closer on the screen.
Oh, yeah.
But then when you actually put them next to each other on stage, it was not even a question. And to be totally honest with you, I didn't. I looked at her Instagram after, like, she had won, and I was just trying to follow her and see who she was. And
She's a freak.
Where is this? I don't understand where it went.
See, the thing though with Shanique though is, no matter what, she has the best structure on that stage.
She does, but that girl.
But that girl, she was off. That girl stepped in,
and she posted a picture of like a rear double, like a week before the O, or like 4 days before the O.
Yeah,
and she looked freaky.
Yeah,
like
that
super
girl's
freaky.
man.
Yeah, so she's gonna be tough to beat, and she knows what she has to do to win now. So I don't know.
I mean, if I have to throw my advice out there, I would tell Shanique to go back to Johnny.
Yeah, I don't know if that's an option though.
Me neither, but I'm just gonna say it anyway.
Yeah, listen, I totally agree. John's great at training. I think he has a pretty good training.
And plus, they were together basically her whole career. He knows her best.
Yeah, I think he found her at like a gym. Like
Yeah.
literally, like never even competed before. I think he told me the story one day. And Johnny's a good friend of mine. I like Johnny a lot. And I think he told me something about like she was like working out and like he was like, you should compete. And then she literally like did a show, got her pro card, and then it was like off to the races.
Yeah.
She's a very impressive athlete. I just think she was off.
She was off.
And her on will never lose.
That's what I'm saying. Structure-wise, she has the best structure.
Yeah.
But if she comes in soft and like that other girl who comes in harder and just better,
Yeah.
she will lose.
Yeah.
But if Shanique comes in on point every time, she'll never lose.
No,
Period.
I agree. I totally agree. And then what, bikini? I didn't really pay attention to it, but Jeanette won, right?
Jeanette, yes. She looked great.
She looked great.
I saw her picture. She looked great.
She looked great. Figure obviously went to the same girl, right?
Yes,
As
the four-timer.
four-time, yeah.
Four-timer.
And what did she say? Something about fuck. What was she saying? It was like her. She's supposed to get married or
She's
something.
supposed to get married
Yeah.
on like that day.
That's some dedication. Yeah, the Olympia. The only thing that I was upset about the Olympia is there was really no expo this year at all.
Well, there was a small one, no?
There was like 4 booths.
Oh.
You went, didn't you?
I didn't.
You didn't
I
go?
didn't see it.
Oh, it was terrible. It was horrible. Yeah, it was like
Yeah, I didn't.
Redcon one, and then a couple. There were like 8 HRT clinics there.
Really?
Yeah, I have no idea why. I mean, listen, I own probably the biggest franchise HRT office in the country, and I would
Facts.
never advertise at a bodybuilding show.
Facts.
They don't want to buy HRT from a clinic,
Yeah.
and they wouldn't even qualify.
Right.
It's just, it doesn't make sense to me. So I don't really understand why. I mean, there was like Ford Alternative Medicine, there was Titan, and then there was another one, and they were all like right next to each other. It made absolutely no sense to me. But yeah, other than that, it was. I think Orlando is the play, though. I totally agree with you.
I loved it.
Yeah.
I thought it was cool.
The
I think
venue
whole
was
setup
sick.
was cool.
The setup was super dope.
Yeah.
Thank God the city let them do it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But
For sure.
yeah, I don't know. You'll see. I mean, it might go back to Vegas just because it's Las Vegas, but I don't know. I mean,
But it wasn't always in Las Vegas,
no,
right?
it was in Orlando. I think it was in Orlando like before at
Yeah.
one point because they said like it's back here or something like that.
I think they should just keep it.
Yeah, it was dope. I think that, and then I don't. It has to be cheaper than doing it in Vegas,
100%.
right? I mean, I
100%.
would think so. I don't know how much they charge for this type of shit, but like it's got to be cheaper.
It's got to be.
Yeah.
Vegas is expensive.
So when are we going to see you on the Olympia stage?
Next year.
How are we going to get there?
After I win the New York Pro.
Perfect. I'm excited.
So for those that don't know, now you know. I'm going to be doing New York Pro.
Love it. Damn. Very cool. No, it was a good weekend. Shout out to Aaron. I appreciate Aaron Singerman got me all my tickets for the show. I procrastinated till the last second as always. I didn't think there were gonna be a lot of people there. I mean, how the fuck? Like it was COVID. So I got there and I was like, oh shit. And then I texted him and like always he came through and he got me some tickets. So thank you for that. Yeah, I saw a couple cool people there. Steve from Super Fitness Gym Equipment. He is the absolute best to get any type of used equipment from. Nick's actually going to be calling you for a recumbent bike pretty soon. So
Yeah.
definitely, if you guys need any type of used gym equipment, you want to go talk to Steve. And that was really it, man. I saw Flex for a little bit.
Bro, you forgot one class.
What class?
Classic.
Oh my God, I'm such a dickhead. How did I do that?
You forgot
How did I do that?
one of the biggest competitions, man.
Well, honestly, between you and I didn't really think it was going to be a competition.
Well,
I
it
thought-
wasn't, but it was a battle for second and third, I guess.
Yeah, but that's not a competition.
Well, you know, it was cool to watch.
No, so the truth behind that is Chris looked unreal, but I already knew kind of what he looked like.
Yeah,
And I didn't think anyone was going to beat him.
yeah.
But if you guys don't know, Chris literally trained in a basement for like half of his prep.
100%.
Like he didn't have a gym. He was training. Was it Ian's basement?
I think it was one of Ian's friends.
Okay. Like he
basement.
literally trained in a fucking basement, and
Yeah.
he came through and he absolutely murdered everybody.
His
And
back.
oh wait, I have to say, wait, hold on, real quick.
Go ahead.
I have to put this in there.
Go
So
ahead.
like, how long ago did Logan Franklin throw jabs at Chris on his Instagram picture?
like a
It was like I think it
before.
was like a month out.
At least. Yeah.
He posted something about like I'm gonna be able to sleep at night because your back didn't change. That motherfucker is blind. He's
that year
blind.
transformation is insane.
He doesn't even look like the same person from
No.
behind. Not even close to the same person.
No.
Yeah, no, he killed him.
That
man.
back width and thickness is dope.
His upper lat, like where it just sweeps over the
Even
back,
his hamstrings were more
he
detailed.
looked nuts, man.
Glutes were even
Totally
more
complete,
detailed.
totally classic. I don't see anybody touching him and that until he stops.
I agree.
I really don't. I don't. His structure is perfect. His height's perfect. His mass ratios, everything's perfect.
And whenever he does stop, next in line, I think will be Terrence to
100%.
take over.
Yeah, Terrence. I got to meet Terrence. What, a week out? Was it a
Week out when he was here, yeah.
Yeah. Super nice dude. I mean, he's very similar, I would say, to like, I guess like a classic version of Sean. If I could put it in like just symmetrical.
Yeah.
You know, like
That's classic.
he looks so good.
That's classic, baby.
Yeah. Super nice kid too.
Yeah.
Super chill, super calm. Yeah, I didn't even really worry about that. I really think I knew Chris was gonna win.
And I think Breon should move to the 212s.
Yeah, I mean Breon's he's bigger. You know, I think Breon.
Well, he's kind of went down. You went from winning to second to third.
Yeah, I think he's just putting on more size. I think he's not.
He just
classic.
looks more like it's like George Peters.
Yeah, George the Bull. Yeah, same thing.
You know,
Agreed.
you look like a bodybuilder now.
Yeah, I don't think that.
And look at George. He got third.
dude, George looked wild, man. George looked fucking wild.
I think when George brings his legs up, he's going to be really good.
Yeah. George looks great.
Yeah.
The only problem with George, I think, going forward is going to be staying in 212 while bringing the mass up that he needs to bring up in those areas.
I think, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because he needs to put on serious size and bring up his legs.
Do you know what he weighed?
I didn't know. I have
I'm
no idea. But he's
curious.
got, I mean, if you look at Sean and you look at George, he's got to be pretty close to 212 right now.
100%.
So maybe like very close to 212.
Yeah.
So either he had to shrink a part of his body, which no one wants to do, or go into the open, which would be really difficult.
If he was to go into the open, he'd need at least 2 years off.
100%.
A year just won't be enough.
Yeah. And then I'm super disappointed Flex didn't get to do this year. I would have loved to see Flex in the
Fle-
open.
He'll be back next year.
Yeah, no, for sure. And he looked good. I mean, I saw him. He looked great. We had a conversation.
Yeah.
He was talking about coming back next year, ready to go. I
He'll
guess
be
his
good.
stem cell treatment went really well.
Which is awesome. I'm happy for him for that.
He's just a good dude, man. Super
Yeah.
good dude. He's, I don't know. I don't think I can say that yet.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Cool. So yeah, he's gonna do really well next year.
My question, how do you think Keon would have done in the 212s this year?
Okay. So I don't think he would have beat Sean.
No, but I actually think he would have been second.
I totally agree with you. I think he would have taken second place.
I think he would have beat Kamal.
I don't think you'll understand what Sean looks. This is like the problem with people that look at Keon and people that look at Sean. One, Sean doesn't have like the same social media presence, and he's not like as well known as Keon.
Right.
But two, until you put those guys next to each other, you honestly won't understand like what Sean looks like. Like you never know what Sean looks like until he gets put on stage, and then he
All
just
he does is
smokes
wear them
everybody
hoodies,
next to
man.
you. You know, so Keon, there's no disrespect. The dude he was beautiful. I mean, he at the Chicago Pro, he looked amazing.
He did. He did.
But I just don't think he has. They're two totally different physiques too. Like Keon has that pretty, like almost classic look, where.
He's just too big for his weight class in Classic at this point. That's why he had to move up.
Oh yeah, no. But then you put him next to Sean, and Sean has that like freak factor where I don't think you could pull away. Like I don't think on stage you could be like you would just
couldn't-
look at Sean the whole time.
Sean, yeah.
I mean, it doesn't look real. If that's
I
the
agree.
best way to explain
I
it.
think Sean's going to hold the title for a few years. 100%.
I think. Yeah, I don't think it's going to take a lot to pull him off of that because he's what did he did 11 pounds?
Yeah.
11 pounds. So imagine him at 212.
Oh, for sure.
At 212, he will be a mini Ronnie Coleman.
If he can stand on stage at 200, just 200 pounds, you know what that's going to look like?
So if everything goes the same as it did last year, he would be on stage next year at, what, 188? So he's
Yeah.
got 2 years to grow 10 pounds a year and still be in the same weight
And
class.
I think what's really cool about Sean is the bigger he gets, he doesn't lose the
Symmetry.
symmetry look.
Nope.
He doesn't lose the deep lines
Nope.
that a lot of people will lose when they get bigger. He's gotten better at that, I think.
And I have to give it to him too. Matt is a totally different coach than any other coach. Like I've never, and not to say that Sean wouldn't be great without Matt. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying like I get to sit next to Matt, and I'm blessed to have him as one of my good friends, and like nobody does what he does for his people. And I don't give a shit who you are, what you say about him. I know a lot of people hate him, and I'm sure it has a lot to do with being successful. But like 100%. I've never seen a coach cater to their athlete more.
He spent the whole week with him.
And not only that, he flew up on him. And remember, Matt has 2 kids. He just moved to Florida.
It's the week before Christmas.
It's the week before Christmas, and his whole family just got to Florida like a week before. I think he like literally like right before.
That week.
Yeah, the same week. So he just moved into a new house. He left, went to Orlando for a whole week, stayed with Sean the whole time. And not only that, but like just in between, like we were in the audience. He must have went backstage fucking 100 times. Making sure he's okay. Gave him all of his food because I guess he ran out of food. So Matt gave him all of his food.
We didn't. Supposedly 212s were supposed to go first, and then like the last minute they changed them to last. So we weren't really prepared for it.
Yeah.
So yeah, Matt packed a meal and he gave it to him.
It's just the attention to detail, man. I'm anything you do, I feel like you have to do it like that
To the fullest.
to the fullest, or give it that 110%. And I feel like with Matt, he does that. I don't know. I mean,
Matt had a great year.
A great year.
I turned pro. I took 4th at Chicago. Nadia turned pro. His other client turned pro at USA's, I
even
believe,
Ivana,
right?
Ivana did great. Ivana looked great in Chicago. I mean, she wasn't the best she was, but I mean, she looked great. I think she looked great.
Ivana should be proud of the way she looked.
I agree. 100%.
And I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah.
But then now Sean won the Olympia.
Yeah.
Like that's a fantastic year, man.
Yeah.
And I'm just happy I was able to be a part of it all.
It's cool to see him growing as a coach, but also remaining the same. I don't know if I said that right.
What,
but like
person?
Yeah.
Yeah, he does. He is who he is.
Yeah.
He doesn't get a big head. He doesn't. He's Matt is Matt, and he's
And
one
Matt's
of the most
had
caring
a ton
people.
of people leave Matt. Like Michaela left Matt. Ian left Matt. And the one good thing I do have to say is if you talk to the people who leave, if you talk to them, not the people who say that they talk to them, they're all on good terms. Like Matt and Ian are
Yeah, they're fine.
Super
They're
tight.
friends.
They're super tight,
Yeah.
and same goes with all the other clients, and it's disheartening to hear like the stuff that's not true, because I actually know what is true, and it's not even worth defending because you don't. It's like it's a
Right.
waste of fucking time.
Right.
But yeah, no, it's a great year for Camp Jansen.
Camp Jansen.
Matt Berzicott just moved down.
Yes.
So now all the coaches for Camp Jansen are in Stewart. We're trying to hopefully bring Sean down here eventually. We'll see how that goes.
I actually brought that up to him.
Did he say yeah? Was
He said he'd
interested?
love to. He just
Really?
has to.
It's got to make sense.
Well, not make sense. He's just got to persuade the girl.
Oh, she's super sweet though.
She's awesome.
Yeah,
I love her.
I love that girl. She's awesome.
She's great.
Yeah, she was so nice. She was talking to Flex at breakfast when we were all at breakfast,
Yeah.
and Sean, and it was really. You didn't come to. Oh, you left.
We left. Yeah.
Yeah, you left. Why the fuck did you do that? You drove back.
Yeah.
Matt drove back.
I slept.
Yeah.
I
What time
was-
did you leave?
It was literally probably almost 1 o'clock.
So what time are you home? 3, 4 in the morning?
Yeah. About
Really?
3:30.
Oh my god, that's horrible.
Oh, I slept the whole day Saturday. I was supposed to get a massage by Jeff. I texted him as soon as I got home. I said, "I'm not gonna make it, bro." Yeah, I was like, "I'm not gonna. I just got home. I'm not gonna make it."
So my wife hates bodybuilding shows. If you don't know that, like she's not a fan. I mean, she likes like the sport, but like for a minute, like she could watch it for 10 minutes and she's done.
And I'm out.
So I had to. It was pretty funny. Like when we went. when we went to see Sean, well, I told her, I'm like, well, Matt told me it was going to be over at 10.
It would have been if he went first.
Well, he told me the whole thing was going to be over at 10.
Oh, hell no.
Yeah, so.
That shit wasn't over probably close to midnight.
Oh, another thing. I'm sorry I have to say this, but like I love women's bodybuilding. I think it's a great sport, but why the fuck did every single person get the routine? No other class got everyone to do the routine. It was the top 10.
I know.
So that took forever.
It did.
So I
That
think
did
going
take forever.
forward, maybe next year, we should do where they all come out and then the top 10 do the routine like every other class did.
I agree, but I also think whoever gets a reward should be the one that poses like top 5.
Whatever.
You know
Not
what I mean?
top
Like,
fucking 30.
If you're gonna get money or a medal, whatever the case is, that's you do your routine.
Agreed.
And that's it.
Yeah, no, I totally. It was rough, man. That took forever.
Because
I think that's what
212
screwed it up.
didn't.
No, no one.
212 was the top 5. That was it.
Classic 212. Open.
Open does all, I think.
Opened it all. It was too much.
The routines do get a little.
Yeah, no.
Hectic.
But anyway, so she wanted to murder me by like 8. Yeah, we got there.
Really,
at 7.
you left by you.
As soon as Sean went on, I left.
Yeah.
As soon as Sean went on, I
You
left.
literally like the last 10 minutes.
Yeah, it was rough. Man. It was a rough day. She was not happy, but she stuck it through. So I appreciate it.
Yeah.
If you're listening to this, don't hate me, please. Yeah, no, but it was dope, man. I love it. Like as soon as Open went on, I was like back in it. Like I was kind of getting tired after Women's Bodybuilding because I was like, what the fuck? This is.
I was
dragging
falling
out.
asleep a little bit.
Yeah, and then when Open came, and then Rami came out, and I was like,
was game
holy
over.
shit.
It was game over.
Yeah.
Man.
Me and Matt, because Matt was sitting next to me right when that happened, I was like, dude, I think he can win. And I didn't even see Phil yet. I didn't see anybody else. I
You
think
didn't need to see.
Phil went out after Rami, right?
I think so.
I don't know. Whatever. And then Brandon went out last.
Then, yeah, Brandon was last.
Yeah, because I think Akeem came out, and then William came. It was William. Yeah, I don't know, but when Rami came out, I was like, he can win.
When you saw his conditioning, that was it.
Yeah, and then everyone
knew.
I think, like everyone knew it was like possible
But
at that point.
we had to wait to see Phil first.
As
That
soon-
was the main point.
Well,
we got to see how
he
Phil
didn't put up
looks.
pictures. He didn't do anything until the show, which is
Yeah.
cool. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah,
It creates like a huge. Sean did the same thing. The
Yeah,
unveiling.
but Sean's
brought it.
was more drastic.
Yeah, Sean brought it.
You know,
I think Sean had the best conditioning in the whole show.
I agree.
Like,
Sean was peeled. Man.
Hands down, the nastiest conditioning. Like that picture Matt sent us right before the night show, like was insane.
Nutty.
You could.
No one works harder than Sean.
No, he's good, and he's quiet. Dude.
Very quiet.
He don't talk about it. He just
No.
he shows up.
Yep.
He just shows up.
Just shows up, goes to work, and that's it. Man.
Well, if you really think about it, Sean built his whole social media following just on showing up. He
Yeah.
doesn't like do anything for I mean, like at all. He just kills it. I don't know. I thought this was definitely one of the coolest Olympias I've ever been to. Even regardless of no expo, no anything, it was just dope.
Expos are cool, but the show was badass.
Well, between you and I think expos are dying anyways. I mean, as a business owner, like owning Revive and owning Raw, I don't necessarily think that I would want to do an expo just because I don't think.
Well, companies that go to an expo, you're not really going to make.
There's
your
no
money
return
back.
on investment. Yeah, there's
And
no
like I
return.
said, and if you so happen to break even, that's a win.
I mean, there's some companies
But-
that may, like, clothing companies who are selling shit, but like, if we did do an expo, I would just do an expo to meet the Olympians. Like, it would be like have Chris up
Yeah,
there,
yeah,
have
yeah.
you up there.
Yeah.
Have everyone we have on our team up there just to come meet and chill and take pictures. I don't necessarily think bringing products is going to make a big difference. Samples, stuff like that.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
I don't see the value of it at all anymore. Like we do the Dubai Muscle Show because the Dubai Muscle Show is a new area for us.
Yeah.
And if you guys don't know this, bodybuilding in different countries, like the United States is probably the most unpopular place for bodybuilding. And I know that sounds crazy, but like if you go to Kuwait, Egypt, Dubai, India, they're like gods. So, like, the expos, like, when we were at the Dubai Expo, it was fucking insane. There were so many people. It was bigger than the Olympia Expo.
Really?
Yeah, it was huge.
That's awesome.
It was huge. It was full of people freaking out, losing their minds. It was just a cool experience. Like, that's not... In America, people go because they want free shit.
Yeah.
That's the only reason why people go to expos.
Yeah.
Over there, those people go because it's like going to see, like, their favorite fucking football team play.
Well, that's like my brother. Whenever I tell him to come to an expo, he gets his bag ready.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm taking all the
Yeah.
samples.
But they don't even give shit away anymore.
No. It's not what it used to be, that's for sure.
No, I mean that's all. That's really it. I mean this was a quick recap, but it was good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean I'm excited to see, like I said, you up there.
100%.
I do want to. I would like to take some more athletes, like bring on some more athletes now that we can. Revive has grown really, really, really fast, and I don't want to ever lose the bodybuilders that started the brand because like now we are transitioning out of the bodybuilding community. We're going into like the moms and the stay-at-home moms and influencers and other types of people. But I don't want to ever lose that community. I think that's what started us.
I agree.
We had nothing when we first started. The bodybuilding community supported us immensely.
Yeah.
So I think bringing on I would like to maybe even go through the classes and pick a bodybuilder in each class, or a competitor, I would say, in each class, and maybe bring them all together and have like just the fucking epic team.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I agree.
I think we could totally do it.
I think that'd be dope.
Yeah, and just
So-
have the ability to bring, maybe next year, bring everybody down early, rent a house in Stewart, have everybody, prep and that for that last week, like here, and then we all go to Orlando the same way. We get another Airbnb in Orlando, whatever. But like maybe even the last month, like who cares? Like, and just document the whole thing.
I think the last month would be
Yeah,
awesome.
like 3 weeks here, and then a week out, we all move to
We all move
Orlando,
to- yeah.
and we do the same thing in
I
Orlando.
think that'd be fire.
I think that'd be so cool, and just feeding like the best of the best out of each category, just feeding off of each other, just getting better, training, like the whole thing.
Yeah,
Be
I'm
sick.
with it.
Tyler, you're gonna have to come
Man,
for a week, a month.
man.
All right, cool.
That'd be
I'm gonna
dope.
hold you to it. Yeah, it would be dope. I think that's the play. We'll do that next year.
Let's do it.
All right.
I'm down.
All right, that is our recap of the Olympia, and I hope we didn't hurt anybody's feelings. It was just talking honestly. So yeah, and if we did, I really don't give a shit.
Yeah, I didn't say what I really wanted to say, so
Kept it PG-13.
I kept it PG-13.
All right, guys, thanks for listening.